Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be talking all about the 2004 Wisconsin quarter, basically understanding that some of these are worth way more than the rest due to what's known as a variety, where if you look really close on the coin, you might be able to find something that's going to make it worth significantly more money. And in this case, the Wisconsin quarter has the extra high and low leaf, but tons and tons more varieties to look for. We'll also cover conditional value and errors, but I'm really excited to jump into this presentation and let you know what to look for beyond the big two. And if you don't know about those, it'll be a great overview as well. And here we've got the Wisconsin statehood quarter, a classic quarter where a lot of errors and varieties are found, and especially varieties, though there's some that I doubt that you've heard of in the past. You can pause for more information here, but I want to kick things off, and there's much more interesting and valuable ones than this one, but I do think it's important because it's commonly found that there are going to be some double die obverses where it's like a second earlobe underneath Washington's main ear, and here it's somewhat of a strong protrusion, going to be in the range of like $3 to $10 for value, but still something, most people are going to focus their attention on the back. It's something where you can look for, and also multiple different types. Here it's a more thin extra, a little doubling there, but this, both are quite valuable, or at least quite fun to look for, and relative, I'm talking about, to 25 cents. There's a big multiplier there. There's also a third where it's super prominent, really strong second earlobe, and the values sort of reflect that. I'm going to be solidly higher than the first two. In terms of some of the double die reverses, we're not going to get to the extra leaf just yet, but we can see there's about 24 different nostril double die reverses on the cow, so it's sort of, nose nearby the cheese, and there's different ways that it ends up happening, but extra nostrils, like a third here, here it's sort of below and then a tiny bit poking out up top. Values aren't crazy because there's a lot of these, so it's challenging for somebody to put together a full set, but it's fun to own, one in your collection if you're a variety collector. And again, values $3 to $10. Doesn't really compare to the extra leaf high. Now, these used to be worth a fair bit more. It was probably good marketing by whoever owned them, being one of the real errors to look for, but this extra leaf, it sort of protrudes right here. It shouldn't even be there. And for contrast, I'll show you, and the values, look at that, $75 to $175. That used to be much more again, but still really strong value just for a pocket change quarter. Look at this here. It's totally, shouldn't be part of the design, but there's an extra leaf low that's a little bit less valuable, $60 to $125, but still not nothing, and something, much more valuable than the common ones to look for. So I think really worth pointing out to all of you today. There's also going to be some of the double die reverses with the extra nostrils on the D mint quarters, and of note, both of these high and low leaf are going to be at the Denver Mint. And there's also 2004 D dime that's an error that sort of has a similar effect, so people wonder if it wasn't the same mint worker involved in all three of these. But these double die reverses are maybe more innocuous. They're not nearly as prominent. Similar valuation there, and then here it's going to be like doubled cheese, so that's kind of funny, and maybe worth a little bit more than the doubled nostril. And then there's also conditional rarity. I generally don't recommend submitting this unless it's like a extra high leaf or low leaf, but if it's Mint State 68 purely on condition, probably going to be worth about $1,200, but it drops off so quickly that it's not really worth submitting for most coins. And a similar situation with more ambitious Mint State 69 conditional targets on the D Mint, and certainly not worth it for the clad proof or the silver proof. But then to wrap things up with the error, we got two errors to discuss. Both of these are cooler ones. This is a struck 12% off center coin sold for $385, and it's pretty rare because by 2004, very few striking errors occurred, and there's actually no planchet ones that we're going to discuss today, but very challenging to find coin. If it was from 1999, it's the Connecticut quarter, maybe the value is going to be a fifth of this. It's just, if there's a Wisconsin quarter collector, they're going to want this, and they come up so infrequently. Similar with this, the die adjustment strike, this coin is not super worn down. Instead, they sort of get the pressure right for striking the coins, and so they have to fine tune it, and in this case the pressure is well under what it should be, ends up being worth about $210 but still a fun coin, cool one, and people really want to pay up for it. I always like the test strike or test pieces, die adjustment strikes, whatever you want to call it, fun coin to be aware of. So that's what we've got overall here. So many different types of coins and things to look for. Really fun with the Wisconsin quarter. It gets a good, here's the high leaf, but there's a lot more in low leaf, a lot more to it than that. Glad to be able to share that with you today. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like the video, comment, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and some other social media platforms. You can also go to my main channel website, treasuretownYT.com, to learn more about the channel and sort of stay in contact. I also will eventually host all of these videos on coinsmetalscards.com, which will be both news, marketplace, and coin information. I do have the goal of eventually getting pretty much every US coin, date, mint mark, denomination on the channel with a similar video to the one that you just watched, and that will likely all be hosted there. And then I also have treasuretowncoins.com, which is sort of my coin dealing wing, coin dealing only entity that is a little bit less focused on content production. So thank you so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my other videos. I also have videos that are not just the date, mint mark, denomination recap in this format, so you can check some of those out, and I'll have fun seeing you there.